We are discussing different aspects of corporate tax planning, and in this session we will discuss on search operations and survey operations under the income tax. Friends, the word search, the word seizure and the word survey, this all comes with a basic intention that a lot amount of income has been undisclosed, unreported, and the property that has been created out of such undisclosed or unreported income, which has never been taxed under the tax laws of our country, need to be taken into the light, and the taxes should be imposed on that, and the person who has escaped for taxes for so many years need to take within the custody of the tax law or the other legal framework of the country, so that justice is being provided to the common ordinary people who pays every amount of taxes on their hard-earned income, and to deny aggregation of undisclosed income in the hand of only few persons. The words itself says it is the detailed searching of the undisclosed income, where the commissioner or the director general of the income tax, but the very supreme level, chief commissioner or the director general of the income tax, has reasons to believe, and having certain documents in their hand or information in their hand, which gives an indication that certain income has been undisclosed or remain undisclosed, no taxes paid on that, and property, whether movable or immovable, has been created out of such undisclosed property which never offered to taxes. With this concept of search and seizure, there is a third option there is a third direction. That direction is called as survey. That means the officials are surveying on the assets, properties, the income, disclosure, etc., to find it out whether any tax has been escaped or not. So let's understand what is survey means. Survey means to inspect, or in a wider sense to scrutinize. To scrutinize. Had already gone through the chapter on assessment, where the assessing officer scrutinizes, in sometime prima facie based on the return, sometime in detail, where he call certain other information during the course of assessment. But if the situation arises like that the assessing officer have reasons to believe that substantial amount of income has been escaped or not paid tax, he may go for an inspection, or in a wider sense to scrutinize the entire asset, properties and income of the suspected assessee concern. It's called survey. The object of a survey is to find it out or gather information, verify and collect the information so far as, and to apprehend a tax evader. So as to apprehend tax evader. What is tax? Who is a tax evader? The person who evaded tax, who never paid taxes. So the survey is basically to fetch around, find around all the documentary evidences, all the informations, all the supporting evidences, so that the person can be taken into the framework. Survey is basically a surprise inspection carried out by the officers of the income tax department to verify the correlated information, check the cash balances with the books, verify the position of the stocks compared on the position thereof in the books, etc. It's something to understand that on a particular day a jewelry shop recorded a sale of around 10 crore rupees of jewelry. So they recorded, as per the sale bill, they recorded 10 crore rupees of jewelry, and in the stock the assessing officer has got a doubt They try to find out whether that real 10 crore has been sold out, or there are fake bills, or there are actual sales for which bill has not been raised. So if an intimation has been given beforehand that please come with all your data and details, there is a possibility that the data may be created, may be fabricated, restructured. And then survey says, once again, survey says is a surprise inspection carried out by the officers of the income tax department to verify the correlated information: sales to stock, stocks to inventory, inventory to purchase, purchase to bank payment to the vendor's account. So all related things, whether the transactions are genuine or not. Check the cash balances with the books, what is available in the cash counter, in the cash box, vis-a-vis what is recorded in the books, cash book or cash journal. Verify the position of the stocks, and everything at one point of time just coming together for a sudden inspection. The authority, who gives the power? Who empowers the tax officials for the survey? The section 133 capital A of the Income Tax Act, right? It empowers the word with the word and empowers the officials for the survey, which says that notwithstanding anything contained in any other provisions of this act, the officials may carry out a survey under section 133 a capital A of the Income Tax Act, which authorizes them for a survey operations. What are the powers of the Income Tax Authority? Now let's understand what are the powers of the Income Tax Authority for a survey. And Income Tax Authority may enter at any place within the limit of the area assigned to him or that particular officer. That means if an officer is in jurisdiction of Karol Bagh in Delhi, he may enter to any of the business premises with the proper authority for a survey, for an inspection, for a sudden inspection. Any place occupied by the person in respect of whom he exercises jurisdiction, any place in respect of which he is authorized by such income tax authority who is assigned the area within which such place is situated, or who exercises jurisdiction in respect of any person occupying such places. That means an income tax officer or an assistant commissioner or a joint commissioner, he is having his jurisdiction, his charge, his particular area of activities, and he is authorized to enter the place of business of such person for a survey, for an inspection, and coming out with the conclusion whether every activity is carried out properly or not. What is the power of the in case of survey? What are the powers that has been given? The powers are like this. Number one, to inspect the books of accounts and the other documents. So the persons can always go for a books of accounts verification. Take out the ledger, take out the sales register, take out the purchase register, cash register, cash book, actual cash box, stock register, actual physical stock, payment made to the vendors, and then bank reconciliation statement, bank statement, how many banks are there, everything. Number two, to place marks on the identification on the books of accounts or other documents and make extract of the copies or the copies therefrom. That means the assessing officer entering into that particular zone may put an identification marks that yes, these are the documents I have seen. I may seize this one, and he may take certain extract copies of the relevant portion of that particular books of accounts or the set of books of accounts files. Number three, to make inventory, check and verify the cash, stock and other valuables, articles or things. So if it is a gold merchant or in a jewelry or in a stockbrokers, somebody says there are 100 number of shares are there, but which 100? 100 number of jewelry items are there, which 100? That needs to be verified and their value need to be determined. The officers also has the power to call upon the proprietor or the employee or any other person to furnish information relevant to the proceedings under the act. That means he has got an ample power, right, to call the owner or the manager or person who is in charge of that establishment. For what? for furnish information relevant for the proceedings, that how much actually has the income and how much you have disclosed. To record the statement of any person in this which may become useful or relevant to any proceedings under the Act. That means it's not only getting the information, but recording the information in a proper fashion, documented, signed by both the sides, so that it becomes a document on record, evidence on record, which could be used for the purposes of further proceedings. Okay. Now, from the tax law, or the powers that has been conferred on the tax law, the income tax authority can impound the books of accounts inspected by him after recording reasons for same, and such impounded books can be retained in his custody for 10 days, after which he is required to take the approval of the Chief Commissioner or the Director General for further retention or return back or taking copies thereof. That means, in a survey it is always possible that the officer has reasons to believe that certain more investigation is required. He has taken the evidences, he has taken the conversation, he has taken entire information from the owner or from the employees and others. Now need to collate and collaborate with the documents that he has searched, he has seized. So he can retain it up to 10 days, more than 10 he need a permission. When the books of accounts are maintained in e-network, are maintained in the computers, CDs, pen drive, floppy disks, etc., then what the assessing officer can do? Correct? The assessing officer can take into his custody to put a mark on the identification of the computer or laptop, and then keep it in his custody with all the information databases, including a CD or a pen drive or a floppy drive, etc., and which would be used for the purposes of further verification or further interrogation or investigation. Now here it comes to a question, a bigger question, as to whether a survey results into a search results into a seizure results into a prosecution or not. My friends, it is always depends on the particular situation concerned, particular situation or environment concerned. A survey is the first step where the assessing authority or the tax authority who had reasons to believe that something has been escaped, they may establish under section 133 capital A, through which a survey process takes place. Data getting collected, comes out with more questions in mind. A search operation takes place. Search means a whole lot of team goes for a search for every corner of the house and other things. And then a seizure takes place with all the documents that has been surveyed, that has been searched, that has been looked into, and that need further interrogation. Seizure takes place. And based on all these things, if it is proven that the person is substantially hidden their taxable income and not paid the taxes, yes, the assessing officer has got the full amount of right to go for a prosecution, to arrest the person concerned under the provisions of the Tax Act. Friends, we are coming to the close of this session. This session we started with survey operations, and to recapitulate what we have discussed, what we understand what is survey under the Income Tax Act, who is authorized to carry out a survey, who is the person targeted to be surveyed upon, what category of assets is to be surveyed upon, what are the process to be followed, and how the survey operation that takes place, how the survey operations ultimately leads to a detailed search, seizure, and then prosecutions. We come to end of this session. Thank you, my friends. Thanks everyone.